Morning, everybody. It was sunny, and now the clouds are coming a little bit here in Sydney, but we can still have an absolutely amazing day, especially if we do some reading to start off with. Rich Dad Poor Dad, Chinese. I am studying Chinese, so I'm reading this children's book, but Rich Dad Poor Dad is probably a little bit challenging, and you don't speak Chinese, so we won't do that and put you through all of that. But we will read The Art of Thinking Clearly, which is a great book. It is very shiny, though, the cover. The Secrets of Perfect Decision Making, as it says. And chapter 65 is what we're up to. We have read so much of this, it's unbelievable. Volunteer work is for the birds. The volunteer's folly. Let's get into it. Jack, a photographer, is on the go from Monday to Friday. Commissioned by fashion magazines, he divides his time between Milan, Paris, and New York, and is constantly in search of the most beautiful girls, the most original designs, and the perfect light. He's well known on the social circuit, and the money is great, $500 an hour easy. That's as much as a commercial lawyer, he brags to his buddies, and what I have in front of my lens looks a lot better than any banker. Jack leads an enviable life, but lately he has become more philosophical. It feels as if something has come between him and the fashion world. The selfishness of the industry suddenly repels him. Sometimes he lies in bed staring at the ceiling and yearns for more meaningful work. He would like to be selfless once again, to contribute something to the world, no matter how small. One day his phone rings. It's Patrick, his former classmate and current president of the local bird club. Next Saturday, we're having an annual birdhouse drive. We're looking for volunteers to help us build birdhouses for endangered species. Afterwards, we'll put them up in the woods. Do you have time? We're meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning. We should be done shortly after noon. What should Jack say if he really is serious about creating a better world? That's right, he should turn down the request. Why? Jack earns $500 an hour, a carpenter $50. It would be much more sensible to work an extra hour as a photographer and then hire a professional carpenter for 6 hours to make good quality birdhouses, which Jack could never hope to accomplish. Taxes aside, he could donate the difference, $200, to the bird club. Doing so, his contribution would go much further than if he grabbed a saw and rolled up his sleeves. Nevertheless, it is highly likely that Jack will turn up bright and early next Saturday to build birdhouses. Economists call this volunteer's folly. It is a popular phenomenon. More than 1/4 of Americans volunteer their time. But what makes it folly? Among other things, if Jack chooses to cobble together a few birdhouses himself, it takes away work from a tradesman. Working a little longer and donating a portion of the earnings is the most effective contribution Jack can make. Hands-on volunteer work would be helpful only if he could make use of his expertise. If the bird club were planning a fundraising mail campaign and needed a professional photo, Jack could either shoot it himself or work an hour longer to hire another top photographer and donate the remainder. I'm going to pause for just a second because there's a couple of things that need to be unpacked about this chapter. The first one that I want to share with you is the fact that this is very economics-based thinking. And economics is very good for figuring out where money is best utilized and how to do things business-wise from only a numbers perspective. And there is a challenge with that. And the main challenge with this is that accountants don't always look at the underlying. So, yes, it may be good to, if you have, for example, a cafe, or if you are talking about photography or any other kind of business, it may be better to increase the price or to do certain things that are good for the business, but it might turn off the client. So let's say, for example, perfect example, my uncle used to own a hotel many, many years ago, and he was giving a party at a different hotel, and it was a very big party. It was thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of birthday party. I think they had about 60 guests, and they had spent everything on this thing. So they had put a lot of time and effort and were spending a lot of money on it. At some stage in the middle of the party, somebody says, "Oh, there's a piano outside. Can we roll it in and play the piano?" And so they did that. They got permission from the hotel. They took the piano, they rolled it in. People were playing on the piano and having a good time. and it just added to the party, and everybody was extremely happy. But when the bill came, and I think it was a bill for about 10,000 guilders at the time, which was a lot of money, they had actually put piano hire and added an itemized for the piano. And economists are going to do that. They are going to say the piano costs us money to hire or to have, or we've paid for it, and a portion of that needs to be reclaimed from the client. Now, based off of the price that is already being charged and the fact that the pianos are already just sitting there anyhow, it really upset my uncle that he was being charged for it. He says, if you would have added something extra to one of the other items, but putting the piano separately when we've just asked for it rather than having it be included, he got really upset. And it could cause the company to lose a client for the rest of their lives who is a very big client. And that is a big loss. And it's a much bigger loss than maybe the $20, $30, $40 that they've charged for the piano for half an hour worth of people playing the piano. So it's important to not only think from the point of view of the economist. And the second point is that maybe, and this is what the chapter forgets, is that maybe our photographer is going to feel good taking some time away from what he's doing in order to be able to hit and build some birdhouses. So it's not only about economically what is better, but sometimes it's also somebody just needs to get away from it. They need to do something that makes them feel good. If he's been shooting photos all day, every day for the whole week, he doesn't probably want to do a photo shoot on the Saturday. He probably doesn't want to hire somebody else to do the photo shoot because he wants to blow off some steam. He wants to feel like he's doing something good. And that is his opportunity to do something that he's never done before. So that's enjoyable. 2, the birdhouse may not be perfect, but he feels that he's actually put in some of his time and effort and energy into this birdhouse. So I just wanted to share those because I thought those were important based on where we are. So now we come to the thorny topic of altruism. Does selflessness exist at all, or is it merely a balm to our egos? Although a desire to help the community motivates many volunteers, personal benefits such as gaining skills, experience, and contacts also play a big part. Suddenly, we're not acting quite so selflessly. Indeed, many volunteers engage in what might be deemed personal happiness management, the benefits of which are sometimes far removed from the real cause. Strictly speaking, anyone who profits or feels even the slightest satisfaction from volunteering is not a pure altruist. So does it mean Jack is a fool if he turns up hammer in hand one Saturday morning? Not necessarily. There's one group exempt from volunteers' folly: celebrities. If Bono, Kate Winslet, or Mark Zuckerberg post photos while making birdhouses, cleaning oil-stained beaches, or digging for earthquake victims, they lend something priceless to the situation: publicity. Therefore, Jack must critically assess whether he is famous enough to make his participation worthwhile. The same applies to you and me. If people don't double take when they pass you on the street, the best way to contribute is with greenbacks rather than greenhorn labor. So I've always said that there are some chapters that I agree with, some that I disagree with. This is one of the ones that I absolutely disagree with, because sometimes it is just so nice to go out and do something, even though it may not be economically viable, that is going to give us a good feeling, that is going to be enjoyable for us, that's going to get us away from what we are usually doing. So I definitely do not fully agree with this. Yes, the folly does exist, but I definitely think that there is nothing wrong with going out and volunteering your time, even if you aren't going to build the best of things. The carpenter, you could pay the carpenter to make these birdhouses, but I know that I would absolutely enjoy, and that it would take my mind off the stresses of my life. And I think that it's so important to do these amazing things for yourself. And yes, beware, I would say beware of what I call the economics trap of only looking at things from an economics point of view. The numbers do not tell you what is happening with the people. So the example from my uncle, those people thought that they were going to make more money by charging for the piano, but literally they've put a person off, they've upset somebody, which will cost them much more in the long run, even though the economics is correct that they should be charging for that piano. Mladen just said that he agreed with that, so I really enjoyed this chapter. This one was Oh, a lot of fun to have a think about. Let me know what your thoughts are, so you can get in touch with me on what's the thing called Instagram. I've started not using my social media as much. I only check once a day. I've forgotten what these things are all called. So you can get in touch on my Instagram, business_team_6_official. So you can find me there. You can see what I'm up to. You can DM me and send me a message. Let me know your thoughts. Get in touch and become friends. If you'd like to watch this video again, or if you would like to watch other chapters that I've read in the past, you can go to the Passive Cashflow Club on YouTube, and you'll be able to find us there. And you can also watch on Zoom, and the links are available on those YouTube videos. And otherwise, you can also DM me on Instagram, and we'll send you those through. Okay, that was so much fun today. Tomorrow, we are reading chapter 66, and chapter 66 is Why You're a Slave to Your Emotions, and it's called the Effect Heuristic. So I'm looking forward to reading that one for you. I'm glad that Mladen definitely enjoyed this one, and there's a couple of people that I'm just going to quickly follow and say thank you for leaving some little things and trinkets and wonderful things. And somebody asked me what accent that is. So Kat, my accent is probably Australian, but I've traveled around the world and done all sorts of really interesting things. So I am from all over the place, really. So we're just going to finish saying hello to everybody that said hello on BIGO. Thank you for joining. It was an absolute pleasure having you all, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow, 8 a.m. Sydney time, for some more reading, some more commentary. And feel free to also join on Zoom and watch the replays and follow and say hi on Instagram. Okay, have a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow.